For UK, Meghan and Harry interview resurfaces issues of race and royal tradition. Many Black Britons tracked down that the meeting brought up new issues about dug-in prejudice, both in the imperial family and in British society on the loose. London hours after a meeting with Prince Harry and his significant other Meghan was communicated in the United States on Sunday, Britain was at that point wrestling with the stun wave undulating out across the Atlantic, uncovering a profound illustrious fracture. In the 2-hour early evening meeting with Oprah Winfrey to be appeared in Britain Monday night, Meghan and Harry talked honestly about what drove them away from Britain a year ago, taking a sharp abandon the default quietness of the imperial family. They discussed remarks by one relative about the possible shade of their child's skin, bigoted inclusion from the newspaper press, and an overall absence of help that Meghan said drove her to considerations of self-destruction. For some Black Britons, the meeting offered a scorching appraisal of the regal family and re-emerged scarcely lowered pressures over dug-in prejudice in the country on the loose. It's hard tuning into the meeting not to zero in on a portion of the lewd subtleties and the family dramatization, said Marcus Ryder, a meeting teacher of media variety at Birmingham City University. In any case, what we're discussing is a significant piece of the British Express, it's a significant establishment. The claims of prejudice made during the meeting could have significant ramifications for the government, he said, whose relatives and their families are paid to some degree with public assets. When you understand that, and separate from it from the possibility of the individual family show, what you have is a black lady who was the first, in the cutting-edge period at any rate, to enter that British foundation, Mr. Ryder said, and makes charges of prejudice at the extremely top. Meghan's disclosure that somebody in the illustrious family addressed whether her child would be too dim to even consider addressing the UK was a significant issue, he said. On Monday, Ms. Winfrey said that Harry had requested that she explain that neither Queen Elizabeth II nor Prince Philip was the wellspring of that remark. Numerous pundits noticed the checked lopsidedness between the stunner exposures in the meeting and the castle's ungainly endeavors to ruin Meghan as a harasser in a break to the Times of London a week ago. For other people, the meeting was a second to think about the unequivocally extraordinary public persona of Harry and Meghan as they ended with the obedient quietness expected of the imperial family and brought a more American methodology. Meghan had recently spoken about her battle to embrace the British hardened upper lip reasonableness, and during Sunday's meeting the couple flagged a longing to hold on to control of their own story, situating themselves as worldwide donors. The Daily Mail, a British newspaper Meghan won a security argument against a month ago, on Monday morning drove its site with the all-covers title text, "I needed to commit suicide." While it trumpeted Meghan's remarks about her emotional well-being, it called the conversations about race an exciting case. The meeting left the nation separated, with significant media sources distributing gnawing critique. Via web-based media, some impugned the couple's unfaithfulness to the family, while others immovably safeguarded them. Nadine Batchelor-Hunt, a British writer, extolled Meghan's boldness and said her treatment mirrored the profound established bigotry experienced by black individuals in Britain. "In my family, we don't actually think often about the government," Ms. Batchelor-Hunt said, yet as a blended race lady, she tracked down that the claims reverberated profoundly. "A ton of our predecessors were oppressed under the pennant of the British realm for the sake of the crown." Claims of bigotry from inside the illustrious family, both from Meghan and Harry, had given the regal family new pertinence, she said. "Seeing her talk so transparently about it is truly freeing," she said, "which is the reason I think a ton of youngsters, especially a ton of black individuals, care to such an extent." The response showed divisions between the individuals who view Harry and Meghan as casualties and the individuals who object to their conduct and of their ability to assault the government in broad daylight. Pundits contended that by declining to name the individual who scrutinized the skin shade of their child, they had made it incomprehensible for the imperial family to attempt to counter the charge. In the Daily Telegraph, Camilla Tominey composed that the end the couple appeared to need the general population to draw was that since we are never liable to know, we should think of them as every single racial oppressor, alongside any columnist who has at any point composed anything ambiguously negative about them. Initially, when her commitment to Harry was reported, Meghan was acclaimed as a worldwide signal of a more comprehensive imperial family, up to that point a significantly white establishment. In any case, that second immediately passed, and she before long wound up under successive assault in the British sensationalist newspapers, frequently the subject of articles bound with clearly bigoted language or feelings of fanaticism. Prior to the wedding, articles showed up in the sensationalist newspapers about her driving her sister-in-law Kate, the Duchess of Cambridge, to tears in a conflict over the Blossom young lady's dress is the specific inverse of what really happened, Meghan said in the meeting Sunday. At that point came allegations in the newspaper press of her tormenting the staff, of being so requesting as to be difficult to fulfill. Some prominent that the sensationalist newspapers would some of the time scrutinize her for doing practically very similar things that acquired Kate rich commendations. Not that Kate got away from analysis completely. While her folks are exceptionally effective experts, the sensationalist newspapers made a big deal about the way that her mom started her vocation as an airline steward and is bound to follow her heredity to a coal excavator than a blue blood. However, which cut especially profoundly, Meghan said, was the absence of help from other relatives. What's more, when she went looking for help for her undeniably frantic mental express, the royal residence's HR office said its options were limited since she was not a staff part. She was additionally told, she said, that she was unable to go to a mental office since that would ponder inadequately the family. Dark Britons had been getting down on the risky depictions of Meghan in the British press for quite a long time. Shola Mos-Shogbamimua, a legal counselor and lobbyist, has habitually stood in opposition to the bigotry coordinated at Meghan. In a warm to and fro on Great Morning Britain, she took Piers Morgan, the moderator and a resolute pundit of Meghan and Harry, to task. He requested a response to what he called the couple splash gunning his family on worldwide TV, while Prince Philip, Harry's granddad, is hospitalized with a heart infirmity. You need to reject that the imperial family has any bigoted feelings or activities against the primary biracial individual, just on the grounds that you are infatuated with the sovereign. Ms. Mos-Shogbamimua reacted, as Mr. Morgan blamed her for race bedeviling. You can adore the sovereign and have the option to get down on the activities done by the illustrious family when they have it wrong, she added. Many noticed that the charges made by Meghan during the meeting featured a vulnerable side in a significant part of the British news media with regards to race, with the positions of regal journalists virtually all white. This is a story which is predicated on race, Mr. Ryder said. Also, what we have is that we have a British media that has so far been delayed to perceive that this is really a racial story. Mr. Ryder likewise said the claims could have wide repercussions for the government, highlighting long-standing inquiries concerning incorporation and the genetic model of progression. We continue to discuss issues of variety, and how well does variety sit with the genetic guideline, he asked, noticing that some may contend that there is an approach to make it work. However, she's adage that there is by all accounts a contention. The castle has said nothing in the outcome of the meeting, and it stays not yet clear how the sovereign herself will react and whether the royal residence will examine the cases Harry and Meghan made as excitedly as it promised to investigate the cases of Meghan's tormenting of staff. Keir Starmer, the head of the Resistance Labour Party, said that the claims in the meeting around bigotry and psychological well-being should be taken genuinely. However, the public authority responded with alert. During an evening news meeting, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he had the most elevated deference for the sovereign and the binding together job that she plays in our country and across the Commonwealth. He added, concerning the rest, any remaining issue to do with the imperial family, I've spent quite a while now not remarking on illustrious family matters, and I don't plan to leave from that today. Yet, many concurred that the aftermath from the meeting could wait. I've generally said that the imperial family would come out, best case scenario, watching obsolete, withdrawn, maybe unpleasant, Katie Nichols, the royal supervisor at Vanity Fair, said in a meeting on Sky News soon after the transmission. However, this is such a lot of more terrible than that.